Hey everyone, it's your liberal with a gun. I'm back with a new video. Well, I had a great day at the range yesterday. Why, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. So, if you saw my last video, you know that I have taken up shooting and firearms as a hobby, and it's become a passion of mine. So much so that I decided that I wanted to sign up to take a course, a 3-day course, to become NRA certified as a pistol instructor. Now, being as I'm a liberal with a gun, I can't tell you how difficult it was to call the NRA and fork over my $40 for a year membership, but it was required to take the class. So I grit my teeth and I did it. Now, what I'm using to shoot with, what I'll be using to shoot with is my SIG P229 Legion, and it is clear, no magazine. There are no, there's nothing in the chamber, so we're being safe. I was told that maybe I should shoot with a revolver or something a little bit more easier to manage. I don't know. That's what I was told, but no. I spent a lot of money on this weapon. I think this weapon is badass. I like it, and I've put so many hours into shooting it. I figured, why start new? Why start new trying to become more familiar with another weapon when I've been shooting so much with this? So let me just master this. So part of the coursework is 2 days of classroom training, which there's 2 days of classroom training, 1 day of on the range training. And I wish it were flipped. I'd rather have 1 day of classroom training and 2 days on the range. Actually, I'd rather have a whole week. Be that as it may, one of the qualifications that you have to do is the shooting qualification is that you have to be able to hit a paper plate at 15 yards, 10 rounds through the paper plate within the inner circle of the plate, which I think is 6 inches in diameter, I believe. So for the last month, I was going out to the range day in, day out. I work for myself, and January is always a slow time. So I was able to go to the range Monday through Friday when it's not that crowded. I was able to get extra time on the range. They didn't worry about me being there over an hour because no one else was in there. Everyone else is working like a normal person does. But I was always frustrated. I was able to hit maybe out of 10 shots, I could hit maybe 4, 5. At the best, I got 7. And that was when I went out with a great instructor. I recommend him highly, Kevin C. Jones, if you're in the Delaware, Pennsylvania area. He's a great instructor. And I don't know about you, but as great as Mr. Jones was as instructing me, and a couple of other instructors, I don't know, sometimes that light bulb clicks on at the most weird moment. And let me explain. The day before yesterday, I was at my shooting range, and one of the RSO, he saw that I was struggling, hitting 5 and 6 again. He told me, he just came up to me and said, listen, work on your trigger squeeze, work on your trigger squeeze. He kept saying it over and over again. And something clicked, and I felt what it was talking about. And Mr. Jones also, he noticed in me also that when I was squeezing the trigger, I was on the double action of the SIG. I was doing this kind of stuff, trying to anticipate the discharge. And it got to a point where it was just squeeze the trigger smoothly. And Kevin said this as well, Mr. Jones, I should say. He said, just squeeze the trigger smoothly and let the gun discharge. Don't try to anticipate it. So that was the first thing. So I was able to, let me see if I can demonstrate this at a sideways angle. I was able to work, and I worked in double action to begin with. I was able to just work that trigger, work it until just one smooth pull, instead of going, oh, is it going to fire? Is it going to fire? Is it going to fire? Oh, it fired. And by the time you do that, you've moved the gun. The gun has moved. You don't want that muzzle to move at all, but it's just smooth trigger pull. Let me see if I can do it this way. Now, I'm not at the best angle, but what I was doing before was this. Trying to anticipate it. It's not there. It's not there. Oh, there it is. But by that time, my muzzle's moved. I don't know how many centimeters, millimeters, but it's a smooth pull. One of the first things I realized, and now I have a feel for it. Put it this way, I can feel when I screwed up. and that's a good thing. So I know what not to do. Now, if I can, saying I can replicate that time and time again, now that I've just learned it, probably not. But that's the first thing, a smooth trigger pull. They've been saying that to me for the longest time. Now I know what they mean. Second thing, and this I actually learned off of watching YouTube videos, the grip on the, now I'm going to say the SIG, that's what I'm using, but I think this is universal. The grip, just getting a firm grip, getting the web right in under the beaver tail, I believe that's called. Getting that right in there and getting a good grip. Now, I don't have the magazine in, but this is something I tried. I learned off of a YouTube video. I can't remember who said this, but kudos to you. The pinky finger is very important to stability. You want to make sure that that pinky finger has a firm grip on the bottom of the grip. I don't know. I tried it, and I feel like it's working for me. So that pinky finger is like the support for all the rest of the grip. What I find I'm doing is that I'm letting that pinky finger be the stability. It has the firmest grip on the gun. Number 3, and for me, I think this is one of the, well, not the biggest, but a huge factor. I learned through my course of learning that the sights, all sights are not the same. As far as I know now, there are 2 types of sights. There very well may be more, but I know about 2 now. There are sights that are specifically, not specifically, but better applied for target shooting. And there are sights that are more conducive to combat. And what I was told is that the sights on this SIG Legion, and I'm not going to assume that even on all 229 Legions, the sights are all configured the same. You know, I'm not going to assume that maybe this sight is off a little bit from another SIG, or they don't match up 0 for 0. But I was told that these sights are set up for combat, for like not necessarily landing directly on the target specifically, but basically getting you in the vicinity of landing that shot that's going to put down a threat. So what I used to do was I followed the old rule of putting the sights, well, obviously you put the front sight squarely in between the rear sights, and you want this to be this line here and this line here together. When you put them together, they create one level horizon, right? And I was also told to cut the target in half with the sight horizon. I don't know if sight horizon is a proper term. It sounds cool. I'm going to use it. So that's what I was doing. I was putting my sight horizon, cutting the target in half with the sights. So that's what I would do. I would put the sight horizon directly in the middle of the target, cutting the target in half. And I always found that my aim was low and to the left, or low right off of the plate, nearly off of the plate. What I determined I needed to do was raise the sight horizon so that I know it may be controversial to cover the target. So I don't cover it completely, but I put it maybe slightly down from the top of the paper plate, or from the top of the rim or the edge of the plate. And these are the results. Like I say, I think I shot 10 shots. As you can see, the cardboard backing is clean. I can only count 9 bullet holes. Maybe one of those was so on target it went clean through another bullet hole, but I only count 9. I'm going to assume they're 10, and one of the groupings was just luckily really good. But I can't tell you how happy I was with this result after countless drilling into me. Smooth trigger pull, good grip, a firm grasp on the grip, not too firm. We don't want to squeeze it till you can't feel circulation in your hands, and let that pinky really be the base of that grip, and know where to put your sights. And that's why people kept telling me, I have 10 guns now. They said, Mike, it's cool to take the gun out of the safe every now and then and shoot it just to make sure, cycle some rounds through it. But if you're training for something, you want to settle on a gun and learn that gun inside and out. And so I chose the SIG 229 Legion. And yeah, just working with those sights. It took me a long time to determine how these sights work. So yeah, that sight picture is so important. And I think I finally, the door is starting to open for me in terms of how to maximize the use of this 229 Legion, which I swear by. All right, so I'm going to be taking the test on February the 23rd of this year. Wish me luck. I can't wait to take the test. I'm really psyched. But I'm still going to be training up until February 23rd. I'm going back to the range tomorrow. So, all right, I'll let you know how it turns out. Look for more videos, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.